Well, friends, I know it's going to be a very, very difficult task, but it's all between them and you. I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to fall asleep because the topics which we are going to have in this session are really, really very interesting. We have been talking about the entire water management system, and when it comes to management system, the different types of pipes, the extrusion of pipes, and jointing of the pipes, which we have discussed in the earlier session as well, are very important. And to take us through this journey, we have the first speaker, and the name is quite musical to me at least, Mr. Hemant Kumar.
The most popular material currently being used is the cement concrete pipe, as we know, the reinforced cement concrete pipes, largely being used all over the country. A brief look at what these cement pipes are doing. Earlier, it was for some time we had MS pipes. Corrosion is a problem. With cement pipes, also the similar problem exists because of the reinforced the cement going off, exposing those steel pipes, steel bars to corrosion. Chloride migration to the steel surface and damaging it. Root intrusion is another major problem for sewer networks. High transportation cost, increased excavation due to lower C value, higher joint cost, higher installation cost, higher repairing cost, health hazards. In comparison to DWC, we're talking about HDP, this is mostly being compared to DWC at this point. This is a costly solution to a big problem. Now, what the government has been doing, a decade back, we had this program called the JNRUM and currently named as Amrut, under which the government of India had allocated funds for sanitation purposes. The budget or the amount of fund committed for this on all India basis is 70,000 crores. It's a huge amount that the government has allocated to it. But as usual with the government, the execution part has been very poor. Last year, the total disbursement has been about 3,000 crores only. There are many reasons why this is not catching pace. There are issues of encroachment, the cases of design, installation, finance. So after a great start, Amrut, our experience is it's faltering. I'm sure but it'll pick up because there is a will, and I think these problems which I mentioned are temporary in nature, and I think the government will find strength to overcome it. The first phase of implementation was initiated in Andhra, Gujarat and Rajasthan, 3 states, but today almost many states in India are under Amrut scheme. And at Prince, we feel that little contribution to the government of India's initiative is by providing Corfit double wall corrugated pipes. As I mentioned earlier, we have one of the largest capacity in India to manufacture DWC pipes made from PE grade 100. We do hold a license IS 16098 Part 2, which is applicable to structured wall pipes. And we are one of early companies that have ranges from 100 mm to 1200 mm. The brief comparison between the two product categories, because primarily I'm comparing it to RCC because that is the most popular material being currently used. It starts with the physical specifications. The DWC pipes come in 6 meter, RCC pipes in 2 to 2.5 meters. Pipe diameters available 1000 mm to 1200. RCC pipes popular is 150 to 600. Pipe material, of course, these are flexible pipes, concrete pipes by nature are rigid. The jointing, one of the major issues for DWC is socket, spigot and coupler joint. In cement it is collars, cement and cement mortar. In comparison to weight, The DWC pipes score very well. They're very light in nature compared to the cement pipes. And roughness, of course, the coefficient is much lower for DWC. Similarly, there are a lot of other characteristics which the DWC pipe scores handsomely over RCC. The biggest part is the life cycle, more than 50 years, the life of the DWC pipes in comparison to 15 to 20 years of a cement pipe.
We move over to the next speaker now. The next speaker in this session is Mr. Robert. He is going to talk on plastics pipe processing.
What we do today, we have at disposal for our customer 5 families of extruders, starting from 24 diameter up to 40 diameters, and in a wide range of sizes, with different configuration for regarding onboard or remoted control and electrical panel, and with different and customized control system. Regarding die heads, we have 2 families of die heads, one for polyolefin and one for PVC pipes. And of course, we can supply with manual or motorized trolley with also a pipe cooling system that permit to reduce the space for the cooling system. And we can also supply the cooling system, so vacuum tanks, cooling tanks, and all the calibrators in the range of SDR6, SDR41, with a wide range of dimensions and materials. We always keep in mind the economic optimization of the plant and production, and the company can give you assistance at any step of the project. Now, after this brief introduction, let's see the first class of material I want to speak about is polyethylene. And today, if you want to stay on the market, you need at least to have high output, stability in the quality of your pipe inside within your standard, and stability of the process during the production. At the same time, you have to implement high level of automation with regarding the process and of course the control of the process. At the same time, the market is not a standing still animal. You have to follow him, and the solution in terms of materials, performance, structure of the pipes are always evolving. So, some examples for PE. We have different colors. It's something very common and basic, but you know, some new expectation in terms of inspection for the inner layer, as well as identification or indication with the outer layer, can be somehow a challenge. And different composition and a new recipe for the pipes, like some new compounds that enhance the physical property of the pipes, as well as the resistance, as well as new installation methods, are always evolving again. So also the prices positioning on the market can require new materials or new structure of the pipe.
Friends, the last speaker in this particular session is going to talk to us on the jointing system.
Fresh water scarcity. That's a critical sustainability issue of this time. Because worldwide, we're using more and more water. This graph goes from 1901 to 2014, but you can clearly see that the global freshwater use has been growing exponentially. Now, India is no exception. In fact, you're right at the top of the chart, consuming 761 billion cubic meters of water, fresh water, per year. That's a lot more than China, for example, a lot more than the United States. Now, this leads to what we call water stress levels. Surely you've heard of this before. It's an indicator that measures the total annual water withdrawals, municipal, industrial, agricultural, expressed as a percentage of the total annual available flow. So higher values indicate greater competition among users. Now, in India, we all know that there's a lot of people living in this country. Decades of population growth and uncontrolled urbanization have created a national water crisis, if you will. Now, 1.2 billion people, 54% face high to extremely high water stress. Over 100 million people live in areas with poor water quality. That's really a lot. Water levels in more than 2,000 groundwater wells are decreasing, and the national supply is about to fall below 50% of the total demand by 2030. Now, by 2030, it is predicted that the GDP in India will be $19 trillion US. 19 trillion. That would make India the third most powerful economy in the world, only after, you hear it again, China and the USA. So this would be a record improvement for India, and it would be a huge improvement among the G20 countries.
Thank you very much, friends, for the wonderful presentations. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you to put your hands together to give a round of applause for these beautiful speakers.
Okay, Doc, can we do the honors and facilitate our speakers? Mr. Hemant Kumar. Mr. Roberto. Mr. Martin. Thank you, gentlemen.